Yo, what's going on everyone, MXM, and today we'll be going over the most electrifying engineer build that we have in the game. So let's get it started. Okay, so let's get started with our primary and secondary weapon. This is the only thing we're going to be discussing in this build. Everything else is basically the same as my beginner's guide to the engineer, except a small change in the LMG gun platform, which we will cover towards the end of this all. So let's get started with the SMG here. We basically focus on full electric damage. We're going full electric boogaloo here. So we'll start off with the better chance to electrocute our targets. Then afterwards we follow it up with the recoil dampness. The reason why we go the recoil dampness is because the fire rate is already pretty good and magazine capacity of 30 rounds is enough. Especially since the recoil on the SMG is pretty big and you need to control it fairly decently sometimes. This is one of the few guns that actually put the recoil dampener on. The next up we have the expanded ammo bags. All our damage comes from electric damage and not from the actual damage of the rounds. So we need more ammo. We can carry more ammo, so that's why we're doing this. And so we have the conductive bullets. So they deal more damage to targets out in an electric field, so bonus electric damage. And then the last one we have is the electric arc. So that gives you a chance to electrocute monsters or mobs that are next to the one you're shooting, so they arc over, and this allows you to actually do AoE damage. And then for the overclock that we're running with this, we run the EM Refire Booster. So we have a significantly higher fire rate, which also explains why we don't need the fire rate upgrade in the regular loadout. We have even more bonus electronic damage, but we do have more spread. So if you are shooting targets at range, you definitely need to burst fire them, otherwise you won't hit them at all. There's only one drawback to this setup for the SMG, and that is that you are dealing almost no damage to Corona shellbacks when they are rolling. So if you have a shellback that is rolling around, don't shoot it with the SMG, you're just gonna waste ammo and do absolutely no damage. But besides that, it works wonders against everything else that you might encounter. So then we have a secondary, which is the Breach Cutter. The Breach Cutter is going to be our main source of AoE, but also to easily deal with Praetorians, since the way we're going to be building this allows us to completely strip those guys from their armor and allow our team to wipe them out pretty easily. So we're going to start with the prolonged power generator, so our projectile travels longer and doesn't fall apart as soon. So if you have, like, let's say, an entire horde heading your way, you can fire it and it just moves through the horde and either weakens them or it will wreck them. So the prolonged duration allows you to hit more mobs, basically. Then we go with the lose no cohesion, so we have a wider plasma beam. Also, once again, allows us to hit more people. The ammo on it is already decent enough, and also the damage on it is already pretty good, so there's no need to buff the damage. Then after that we have quick deploy, because there's a little bit of a delay for when the plasma lines deploy. So if you're in a shitty situation, you have bugs right on top of you and you're shooting the breach cutter, you will miss them if you do not have this upgrade. So this allows you to get out of these tricky situations from time to time. If you have really good positioning and you don't run into these situations that often, you can just get another loose in the node cohesion, so you have an even wider beam. But the beam width of 3 is already pretty good. The next up you have the armor breaking. This allows you to get rid of armor of Praetorians. So if you shoot a Praetorian properly, it will get rid of all its armor that it has, and you can just hit the weak spot almost from any angle. So this is a really nice upgrade to have. This also works for any other bug that might survive your plasma beams. It will rip their armor off. And then the last one we have is the triple split line. So this allows us to have like 3 separate lines stacked above each other, so we have even more area we can hit. This is a must-have upgrade in my opinion, because the other ones aren't worth it as much as this one is. If you have, for instance, a smaller cave that's completely filled, you just shoot these in and you are able to completely cover all the area inside the cave. So make sure you grab this one here. Now for the overclock, we go for the high voltage crossover. So whenever this hits a bug, it electrocutes it as well. There's a little like downgrade on the magazine size, but that doesn't matter too much. What's important is that it electrocutes the target. So the target is electrocuted, and if you remember from the first thing is that we deal more damage to targets in an electric field or that are electrocuted. So you see how well these two synergize because of this single overclock here. Then we will quickly cover the turret, because I made some adjustments compared to my last beginner video for the engineer. It's basically the same except the last perk. So we go for 1 LMG, so we don't have to babysit 2. It also got a greater range and greater ammo capacity. I also found that if you run 2 sentries, besides having to babysit them, you need to focus a lot on ammo, and there's more like a crowd controlling method for swarmers, spawns, and the neophyte spawns. And next we have the quick deploy. I personally like to be able to put my sentry down ASAP, especially since the reloading isn't really that big in my opinion, and the ammo banks is pretty decent when you have a single turret. The next up we have hardened rounds, because the turret doesn't target weak points and shoot wherever and whenever. So by this you're negating a decent amount of damage loss. And here's the big change here. I went for the Hawkeye system. This allows the turret to acquisition targets way faster than it did with the Defender system. And you can also prioritize targets using your laser pointer. But the main reason why I'm running this right now is for the max range increase and the fact that it targets faster. So that covers the basic setup for the Electrifying build. Do you have any other like specific engineer build that you really like to play? Make sure to leave a comment and let us know, because I'm always interested to find out what type of builds you guys like to run. Sometimes there are really good builds in there. They're really good. But on that note, I'm going to be showing you guys some gameplay of this build in action. It's basically the same as any other engineer build. Your weapons are just different. So you focus on having a turret up for security, making sure you throw down your platforms for your scout, but also to maneuver around the map easily. Use that terrain tool, and besides that you just have different weapons which are pretty strong. So sit back and enjoy the gameplay. I'm about to say, like, if he needs a platform, he just needs to let me know here. I love how everybody instantly just like, yeah, just zip it. I like this electrocuting build. I think we should have picked that earlier. I think like especially when it arcs over to like different grunts, it has so much AoE potential, and it's really nice. Juicy. Very juicy. Let's keep moving forward. So got the Morkite first again, and then just continue on to and then move back up and go grab the black box, just like last game. Chill for the mule and deposit. There we go. Okay, and once we go. Hit Kabimchkis. I'd say it's a strong setup. It's a really strong setup. I want to see if we can make it even stronger with like getting certain loader upgrades instead of others that we got.
We'll lose the connection if you don't stay close by it, so try not to leave the triangulation zone marked.
Fucking morons. So basically I gotta like... So that covers everything that there is to discuss about this Electrifying build. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for future content. If you have any questions concerning this build, make sure to leave a comment or hit me up on my live stream over on Twitch. And lastly, have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.